get my camera back. My camera involved. What's going on? My camera is acting funny again. Let's see what we do. I'm looking at my iPad tonight. There we go. All right, we back. Anyway, so let's get the right camera and on, and let's get it going. Oh, here we go. That's what I need to get my camera right on YouTube. I'm almost there. Give me a second. Here we go. All right. It's one thing about apparatuses, you got to get them right when they're right. They're right. Here we go. Yeah, we good. We good. We solid. Anyway, let's go. Tonight's show. We got the current events. We got to talk about a lot of current events. So the thing is, I just wanted to name the show the current events tonight because it's a lot of truths versus headlines. What they're not telling us in old good old 2026. The illusion of control and who is really running the things right now, who's really running reality, and then the programming for awakening, breaking down today's reality. So let's look at the underlying equations that happens when you got scum versus scum. Seriously, scum versus scumbag. So you got, the most atrocious motherfuckers eating each other's faces. Anyway, check it out. People think they are informed, but they are really just influenced. All you guys do is look for influence all day. Look for what to be influenced by or what influences you. And you can tell because you can see by the rhetoric that exists. You don't talk about what's really going on. You don't even talk about what's within yourself. You want to talk about the external shit like, Trump and his falling apart administration. Like, they don't talk about what's going on with them. What's the aftermath? What's going to happen after all of that? So we want to talk about little shit like that. Then we want to talk about how the system feeds emotions and not truth. You see what I'm saying? All the system has always fed was emotions. Like, that's why people voted for this whole system, because they wanted other people to suffer and for them to feel like there was no suffer to come. But when you vote for pure power, chaos, and catastrophe, shit, what you think you're gonna get, and how you think the world gonna respond, as if nobody understands your true nature or how things have always been done. So if you think about how things have always been done, when people build themselves up and they honor themselves and they give credence to themselves as the people that has sacrificed to them to even exist, why would they give credence to something that has perpetually destroyed them? Even being behind enemy lines. As a black American, you would think we're behind enemy lines. No, we're just victims of our own territory of an overlaid society that's now cracking. So what do? Do you run? No. You put yourself in position to build. You put yourself in a position to take ownership. You put yourself in the position to say, I got it from here, and I know exactly what not to do. Because everything that you tried to do and everything in every example that there was to do when it comes to interceding and destroying and not building upon people, I understand how that shit is a pure failure. Taking from people is a failure in the first place because it only leaves you with the ability to not do for self. I hope you really understand that. When you distribute and even give the inkling of not being able to do for self, that's how you know you're not original. You really want to know the truth? Originals think for self, do for self, and come up with things, apparatuses, ideologies, methodologies, principles, civilized notions, spiritual systems in order to do what? Rise above. To think outside of your box. Because we don't fit in boxes. When you're an indigenous person, you create the boxes. And when you create the boxes, you ever want somebody to recreate a box? Or recreate something to put in a box and ship that's worth a damn. And that brings a value to humanity. But when you don't do that, and when you try to shortchange humanity, you shortchange yourself. When you build an inferior product, you are inferior. So when people say, yeah, I got the best product, I got the best guarantee, I'm only going to give you a year's manufacturer's warranty because that's all I got. Fuck, why can't you build something that works forever? Why that ain't in you? Don't you work as long as you can work, as long as you can take care of yourself? Why won't you want a tool that can work for at least 20 years? And it's capable, it can happen. But when you don't put that and make value behind that, you want a value on warranty, breakage, and the disassembly of your product. You want to make money off your product being inferior. You want to make money off your product just imperially working for 3 months to 6 months to a year to even 5 years. That's unacceptable. It should be unacceptable for your name to be on some shit that ain't gonna work long. 5 years at the most, you got to get something else at that. That's an inferior product. So you inferior. So you mean to tell me you want to hurt or bring harm to someone that can make a superior product, and all they asking for is a fraction of the price that you're willing to ask for an inferior product? See, that's the problem. That's the problem that exists within us as beings as a whole. But with a particular type of being that brought that type of apparatus or that type of mindset that exists in any market is extremely inferior. It of no real value at all. You got to pick and choose to fucking use a tool when you're supposed to be able to use a tool when it's readily available if you pay for it. That's why it's always good to have what you call manual and functional tools that there's a good chance it ain't gonna break depending on what you're dealing with. And with your everyday application around your house, if you got good quality stuff, it ain't tearing up on you. So anyway, let's get to it. I know I've had a long winded approach to you, but I got some good news. I got some good shit for you tonight. You know, so the thing about just to inform you, today's news is narratively controlled. So if you say today's news, just think of that as a narrative control narrative. Hold on. I'll let Frank the Voice come on in. Let me see what you got, Frank the Voice. What's happening, homie?
What's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man?
Yeah, it's the Willis Podcast, man. I'm actually on the live on YouTube, so your voice is unnecessary. I'm just giving a couple of key points. I'm just working on the first one. Basically speaking about today's news equals a control narrative. The next point I was talking about social media pushes what keeps people reacting, not thinking. So they don't necessarily conjure up they don't conjure up an actual thought that's from the inside. They look at something to expound upon. So you got a whole lot of reactionary news, not something that people actually think. So what's your thoughts?
I would say that is correct with how you're explaining it. It's like nowadays people are so in tune to they want to make of a certain perspective of what's going on.
Right.
For example, you could be talking about a certain topic, but if it's nothing that the audience finds engaging, entertaining to them, to feed them, they wouldn't pay no mind to it. This is how social media is nowadays. People just want to be entertained. People like feeding off of other people's energy. So this is the world we live in. This is social media. This is entertainment.
That's what it is. All right, let's get to the next point. So we ask, are people choosing what they believe, or are they being fed it? So you can have an intricate notion, don't have all kind of information, but you can have a whole lot of feed of energy that's based on feeling with no fact.
Thank you for coming in, Dan.
You got it. I want you to expound on what I just said about people choosing what they believe and not, or are they being fed it with the notion or the inkling of what they're passionate about with a lot of lack of information. Like they don't have the whole, it's just the way I feel, but they missing so much.
Of course, they're missing a lot because they put their feelings first. Remember, humans, we're always going to put our feelings first. We're always going to put that out there first, what we feel, what we want to, what we're attracted to, what keeps us there. But we move away, we miss the knowledge part of it. We miss the growing part, the part that is going to teach us, what is going to inform us, because we're quick to react.
Precisely. So if you look at people, they like politics and entertainment, right? You got politics that feed sports, teams now, who's going to win the championship. Then you got people that defend their side instead of questioning it. They just want to defend. So how do people react to anything? You could tell them something that makes pure and precise sense, but just because they didn't listen, they went directly on the defense. They missed. It's like they missed what you said, and you can tell because of how they react. You're like, did you even hear? Can we?
Listen to what I was saying?
Did you hear what I just said? Like, but you said something about this, but God, no, I said precisely what I said. I didn't say something. I said specifically. What? Oh, well, I didn't know you said it. Like, well, I said it 4 times. Yeah, I mean, how many times I gotta say the same thing because you was already ready? God, come on.
Defensive.
Oh, okay. You can't fight, right? Stop. You can't even fight, but you wanna come on, put him up, yeah, all that.
You're right, man. You're right. You're right. Self-defense. Everybody has their self-defense. People are so quick. See, in my journey, I learned, and I always tell people my journey in Lori Peters Music. How you doing? Thank you for the follow. I know I have an official battle with you in a couple of minutes. I'll be there. When I started seeking the Word of God and started to indulge myself in God's grace and God's path, I learned that the first thing I learned was to be a good listener, not quick to talk. My father would always tell me, Frankie, listen before you speak. Listen. Use your ears, open your ears, and listen first. And take your time and make sure you speak with knowledge. Make sure you speak power. Make sure you're going to speak something that makes sense. Don't be quick to talk.
Clarity. Clarity is the word. When you speak, be precise and have clarity. So therefore, you ain't got to sit up here and keep going round and round with a person. Go ahead,
Okay,
brother.
Lori. Thank you for the heartbeat. Yes, you are correct. In the society we live in nowadays, people are quick to speak. They don't listen.
Speak up, because I got the mic on my phone. I want you to speak up a little bit. I got the mic on my phone. Speak up.
They do not. They do not. There's no good listeners nowadays. I hear people say, "Oh no, because I'm gonna speak what I want. I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna talk what I want. What comes to my mind and what I want to say, and you're gonna hear me." Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What about? Are you a good listener? Do you take time to listen to what someone is teaching you, or maybe guiding you in, or preaching to you?
Or how about exchanging? Very important. You don't have to listen to a preacher. You don't have to. We can really just listen to somebody that gives a shit, cares about you, and that wants you to win. And you don't listen to them. That's extremely faulty in character. So we're strangers. We've seen each other around, but look how much respect that we can garner up in exchange just by having strong principles that exist within ourselves.
Exactly.
First.
Amen.
That's high character. That's royal exchange. That's not lower vibration. That's a royal exchange, because you don't practice in pettiness, and you're not participating in beating down anybody. You're exchanging to elevate, and that just so happens off the top. With us, that kind of happened just off the top. Wow. How easy is that to do if there's some truth, respect, resolve, and some interchangeable exchanging company that's attractive enough to talk to.
Amen. Amen.
That's
it's
all.
Okay, Lori. Don't worry. I just figured out. The battle was. I just logged in and I saw the screen. I think I had a previous battle, but they somehow just switched it up and sent it to you. But it's okay, love. Don't worry about it. It's just a little campaign battle, so nothing to worry about.
No, all good. What I'm about to do is I gotta continue on my show. This is Willis Podcast. I'm also on YouTube too, so I gotta.
Yes.
So here we go. We got the third, point that I wanted to make tonight with the Will is Current Events. This show is really about,
Thank you.
what they're not telling you in 2026. So what you need to understand about 2026 is the year of divine growth. The divination within yourself is about how much growth you can gather for yourself. It has nothing to do with any other people. It has nothing to do with how you feel, but what it really has to do with is this. It's not just a race. It's not just class. It's a mindset. People want to make everything about race and class. It's a mindset that you're really dealing with right now. So it's a lot of things that you really have to do, set aside in order to get into that next realm. It's a mindset. So people who question versus people who follow. You see what I'm saying? So you got to deal with the mindset, and then you got to deal with people that question things versus people just say, "Why don't we just do this? Because that's the safest, most easiest way, and I ain't got time for this shit." Them. And then you got people that question, well, I don't think that shit's suitable for me. I think I'm more fitting with a little bit more harder work now so that the outcome is better later. I like that approach. But I ain't got time for that shit. Okay. So you got people that's addicted to reaction, not reflection.
Not reflection.
But they love reaction. You show them you show them something, you show them a little something, right? A little something like, if you put this much work in, the outcome and the reward is far more greater than you can ever even fucking dream of it, imagine. But the other side say, man, you ain't got to worry about that. I can tell you what you do. Sit what you at right now, get what you can get, and wait till you just done. That's not the way my mind think, though. But you got people minds that's All they think about is how to be done. A person that develops themselves, we never think about how to be done. We think about how to resolve. Because I need to get to the next thing I can resolve. I don't know if I'm ready to sit down and be done with anything until I can walk upright, be who and I'll do anything to be that, what, free? Yeah, and alive and breathing. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm not a traitor. I don't cross people. I know myself. I'm through and through. I rely on me. I don't have no reason to hurt anybody else or bring harm to people because why? I have influenced myself so through and through by repetitively losing, learning, and winning that I'm okay with the circumstances of learning because I know I've never lost. I'm alive and I can look around me and see how much I have won, and my winnings have far more outpaces any of my losses. I can't hear you, my brother.
Amen.
Yeah, so we got to get to the real questions, who are people? So, but before we do that, you got to think about fear sells faster than the truth. Fear is an extreme money maker. Yeah, it sells so much faster because they can get your money out of the grocery store. They can sell Armageddon on a hurricane. They can sell Armageddon on a flood. They can sell all that. Come on, give me a good motherfucking money maker. Yeah, baby, give me a good natural disaster. Feed. Yeah, it's gonna be the end this time, y'all. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That becomes a cycle. So people get wore out after spending all that. They get wore out. You know how much stuff people done bought done went bad just by being not bright.
Exactly.
Seriously. Just not even bright at all. Just like, well, if that's the end, I just want to eat all the Pop-Tarts I can eat. Like, wait a minute. And this last go round, I done heard, like, this app is, I mean, seriously, the internet is madness. It's undefeated. It's undefeated, but it's a godsend, and it's madness at the same time. So one lady talking about, well, the world ain't here, so I came with my car. And he said he ain't giving it back. I'm still here. Some people are they just really I feel bad for them. I don't, because I don't feel sorry for people, but at the end of the day I do. I feel for people that are just so subjected to cultism. They just so yeah, I feel the same way. I'm jumping head in. That's all the way in, and they be like, I feel defeated. I just feel like I ain't getting nothing out of this. Newsflash, pimping, you never did. For the past 30 years, 30, 40 years, the Tea Party members, and you think about how much people done threw so much away and then destroyed their life being a Tea Party, and that became MAGA, and that became all this other different type of apparatuses inside of apparatuses, inside of, sycophant of hell that these people have literally masked as Christianity and evangelic people of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But that's the real reality that has been stoked, throughout the gutters and the streams of the inefficient, the vile, and the folks that are just have always been inferior. Actually, always have been inferior. They've never wanted to believe it, but you got to understand these things. If you're going to sit up here and do these things, say somebody else did it, and then be the culprit, and say that's not me, but you wear high heels and every time y'all get together, grind or break. Ain't that what they say? If you listen to iHip News, them ladies on YouTube, right? Them crack. Man, I promise they tell it all. They got like an inside track on all of it, right? So they be talking about they be talking about Mike Johnson, they talking about all of them. Like every time they have a Republican convention, every time they all get together, Grindr breaks. I'm like, I didn't know what Grindr was. Had no idea until I was like, oh, that's what it is. It makes complete sense. Complete sense of how they all follow each other with their hand in hand. It's like we are the brotherhood. I'm like, what kind of shit they got going on? What is that? Never in my life, you would think like, hey, it might be something to him. They said he got good, quote unquote, values, and these people go completely against what come out their mouth in public and the life they live in private. Oh, two different people. One dude from down south, I think it was called like Dothan, Alabama. I'm familiar with them areas because I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, and you pass through Dothan. I graduated high school in Columbus, Georgia. So I'm from the deep south. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from the big cities. I live in Atlanta now, but yeah, I'm from the south. I'm from the bush. When Pensacola in 1980, when Pensacola, they just had Naval Air Station, it was the first port. But my people aren't imports. They're from here, from Alabama, Mississippi, all of it through the Delta, the Third Coast, the Gulf Coast, the Southeast. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about the type of situations that participated so much later within, in time, you'd be like, what the hell is what is this? This is unfamiliar. You see what I'm saying? Should be changed. You don't know shit no more.
It's what it is.
But I gotta get the mic close because you said I heard what you said. You was like it is what it is. Yeah, man. But for real, man, you got to think about that, man. Like if you think about how fear sells faster than truth, it is so. I'll tell you like this: like if you think about calm, logical truth doesn't trend, right? Calm, logical truth, like if I got to use like very highlighting moments because calm, logical truth don't trend. People don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear no calm. They don't want to hear something that can really help. They want to hear how up it can really be in order to practice it. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the wildest shit, right? So then you got people addicted to reaction and not reflection again. And then also, what about or reacting to everything thrown at you? You know how exhausted you gotta be? Yeah, I gotta be, oh my God. Everything, I gotta fight everything. You know how much, God, man, you'll be dead before you fit to trying to fight every damn thing. That's crazy. You can't, sometimes you gotta, oh. You know, hey, watch out. Watch, you know what I'm saying? Hey, back up. Back off. You know what I'm saying? Watch out. Back up off me. Pimp. You might have to practice some awareness. You know what I'm saying? So, awareness is power but most avoid it. I don't know why they would, I promise you, they'll react to everything thrown at them, but they won't practice awareness. They wanted to get right up in their face where it's like this close to where it's busting them in their face or seeing it come and be like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't know. I try to help people with that specifically because the Will This podcast tells you one thing. It's like, look here, you don't have to wait for a catastrophe. All you have to do is find a solution or avoid it. It's the same thing. A solution ain't punking out. A solution is making sure you ain't got to deal with that shit again. It's your choice, but if you too punkish to get a solution, and that solution may not even involve violence, it may not even involve bloodshed. It may just involve a simple conversation that people have to adhere to the rules. You don't cross certain boundaries, I don't either. You don't skip this road, I won't skip that. We ain't gotta even like each other, but this just not cause bloodshed. It is just that simple. And you got governments that exist outside of beings that's supposed to be the governors of us, but don't practice that. Life is perplexed, but you don't have to keep participating in the dumb shit. You get to choose for yourself outside of a government. Self-governance is the most perpetual, important tool that you should partake in every facet of your life, every day, and every part of your day and your life. That's the only shit you really got. You ain't got nothing else. Because the thing is, you function outside of yourself. Guess what? You get what you can't eat no more. You can't eat a bit of honey. You can't eat a bit of honey. That's what's sad. And that's damn good candy. I'm just being honest with you. Y'all can't eat a bit of honey, man. A bit of honey? You ever had one of them some bitches? That's a good ass candy. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm going to chop it up with you because I got an official battle in a couple of minutes, my brother. Thank you. My chat has been listening to you, man. Everybody rocking with you, man.
Y'all subscribe to the Wilderness Podcast on YouTube. I'll rock with y'all too. Yo,
don't forget, y'all subscribe.
The Will Is Podcast on YouTube. Y'all chop it up. Come holler at me. Come rap with me. I'll be here. I'll be around. Leave a comment too. My brother here, we cool.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, my brother. You too, my brother. Right. Gotta eat that bit of honey, man. It's delicious candy. Trying to speak good, y'all. But I feel this is good. I love a bit of honey around me, man. Oh. It's a hill of candy, man. A bit of honey is something delicious. I might do a commercial if they let me, man. Real honey and real toasted almond bite. My two favorite things. Almonds and honey. That remind you of a woman, you know what I mean? Almonds and honey remind you of a woman. Almonds and honey remind you of a woman. Bit of honey, baby. Yeah, oh yeah, bit of honey. Best. One of the best damn candies that's healthy you can eat. I promise y'all. I promise. But it gotta be bit of honey. Anyway, I swear by that candy. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to the show. Real question is, who are you in all of this? Who are you in all of your life? What are you choosing all your life? What goddamn, what life you want to live? Who are you? Think about it. Are you thinking independently? Have you ever thought independently? Were you ever given the ability to think independently for real? Or did you have to get it out the mud? Did you have to understand how to garner your independent thoughts, even to operate as an independent person? See, that's regardless of masculine or feminine. An independent person is something that we should always achieve in our divinity, not individually. That's your aha moment. Just let y'all know. You can't get divine by yourself. If you ever have a God, you got to have a goddess. You want to be a man, you got to have a woman. You want to be full, you got to understand what that means. You do. But check it out. Oh. Reality is not. I'll tell you again, and wear you out. It's gonna wear your ass out for real, all the way up. But I tell you again, awareness is power. What's happening? Nobody talks about why they react the way they react. Why do people not talk about why they react the way they react? You know why? They don't even want to talk about it because their feelings are involved. And a lot of times when those feelings are involved, they want to tell you what triggered them because it comes from a very painful place. That when you see the last shot that they gave you, you like, oh, what the fuck? Well, why you do that? What the hell? What was that about? You be like, I'm gonna leave this crazy motherfucker alone. Ain't doing it. Nope, ain't doing it. So on the flip side of the equation, you be like, something happened to them. They went through some trauma, some shit going on. So you either have the patience to sit there and deal with it or understand that, or you get to walk your happy married ass out their life. And so you're gonna have to face something with somebody. You're gonna have to deal with somebody. That position and that element is gonna take place to where you gotta. Fortunately, we are the type of people where we have to have those type of interactions. We may have to have those type of exchanges because do you want to enjoy everything just for you? Just you? That's all? Do you know how many people need reprieve or relief? That's extremely important to realize. It is. It really is. You should think about those things before you go to always being so selfish. And I understand that some things people may need more than you. Selflessness is grand. It's a great appreciation. It lets you know how much you don't need, but it also allows you to be an extreme appreciation of what you have. I want to tell you. People don't want truth, they want confirmation. Ask yourself that question. Do you want truth or do you want confirmation? That's a kicker or a stinker, isn't it? Damn, you tie between your ego or what the fuck you really is, who you really are. That's a conundrum. Split face the people have to deal with that. You know, one-sided glowing phone screening, eyes wide overwhelmed. Oh my God. The other side is calm, focused, and locked forward, knowing what's coming next. See, you always have to pivot yourself into being interchangeable, knowing that life is going to come with something else and knowing you got to have a solution, not just an answer. Check it out. It's Willis Podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much on YouTube. I love being back. I had to get some rest. I had to give you some real good energy for a real current event show. But fortunately, this current event show is about what's your current conclusion? What's your current succession? What's your current situation? Who are you currently? What's your stage? That's the show tonight. I love you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Willis Podcast. And you already know what it is because you know I love you just like you love me. The will is yours. Be cool, my people. I love you. Y'all keep on. Put my shit out there, man. Do it for me.